IGN looked at a hand-drawn, black and white rubber hose animated Troy Baker voiced noir detective shooter about a chain-smoking mouse blowing off goon heads in the streets of Mouseburg and said, hey, 6 out of 10, too many cheese jokes. 6 out of 10. The same website that handed Black Ops 7 a 7. I'm not kidding. In the IGN universe, a game Activision cranks out of a content treadmill with the personality of a stapler is objectively a better experience than a 5-year passion project from a tiny Polish studio doing animation that hasn't been attempted at this scale since your great-grandma was alive. Make it make sense. Actually don't, because I'm about to. What's up, everybody? Cyler Ray here, and today we're performing an autopsy on what might be the most self-owning piece of games media I have read in a calendar year. Mouse PI for Hire just dropped. The reviews are basically a love letter across the board. Steam is going bananas for it, and IGN rolled up like that one substitute teacher who got the syllabus yesterday and decided today was the day to enforce vibes. Stick around because the funniest part isn't even the score, it's the reasons they listed. You're going to lose your mind. Quick catch up for anyone who hasn't been following this game. Mouse PI for Hire is a first-person boomer shooter by Fumi Games out of Poland. It's styled like a 1930s Steamboat Willie cartoon, but you're playing a hard-boiled detective named Jack Pepper, voiced by Troy Baker. And you are sending anthropomorphic gangsters to meet their maker with a Tommy gun, dynamite, and at one point, I'm pretty sure finger guns. It's Cuphead meets Doom meets Max Payne meets the actual devil. The animation is hand-drawn, the soundtrack is live jazz, it runs on a potato, it runs on a Steam Deck. Every single frame of this thing screams, we made this because we love it. 5 years of work, delay after delay. They got Troy Baker, they got the rights to look this close to public domain Steamboat Willie without getting Disney lawyers parachuted onto the roof. This game is a miracle. And then the reviews started rolling in. GameSpot 8. Open critic average hovering in the 80s. Steam user reviews overwhelmingly positive. Every other outlet, this is the good stuff, go play it. And then like a seagull dive bombing a picnic, IGN coasts in with a 6. Let's talk about the reasons because I want you to hear these out loud. I want you to let them marinate. Reason number 1, there are too many cheese references in a world populated by mice in a game called Mouse. Imagine if you reviewed Call of Duty and your main complaint was too many guns. Imagine reviewing Forza Horizon going, the cars, there's just so many of them. It was actually painful to sit through at times. You picked up a game about mice, sentient noir mice, and the cheese jokes were the thing that broke you. My brother in Christ, what did you think was going to happen? Did you expect them to eat kale salads? Reason number 2, and this one I had to read twice to make sure I wasn't being pranked. The game has ludonarrative dissonance because you kill too many people in a noir detective shooter, where you are a detective with a gun in a genre called shooter. I'm not making this up. The reviewer complained that a character established in minute 1 as a war veteran who shoots first and asks questions later shoots people. I've genuinely never seen a reviewer walk into a building, slip on a banana peel they brought with them, and then write a 2,000-word essay blaming the floor. This is that. Reason number 3, the writing makes too many references to other things and it's, quote, painful to sit through. Okay, this game is a love letter. It is explicitly a homage. The entire pitch, the reason it exists, is to mash up rubber hose animation with noir detective tropes with boomer shooter gameplay. Referencing things is the point. Criticizing this game for making references is like criticizing pizza for having cheese on. Oh my God, there it is again, the cheese, it's everywhere. I'm in the walls. Here's where I want to take a sharp turn because I think there's actually a bigger conversation to have under all of this. And it's not IGN bad, funny, number low. That's the easy take. Everybody has that take. I want to talk about what game reviews are actually for in 2026 because I think we're watching the profession quietly collapse in real time and nobody wants to say it out loud. A review score used to be a signal. You'd pick up a magazine, you'd flip to the back, you'd see a 9.2 next to a game and you go, okay, that's worth my 40 bucks. Now, nobody trusts the number. The number is a vibe, the number is whatever the guy writing it was feeling between his second Red Bull and his deadline. You've got one outlet giving Mouse an 8, one giving it a 9, one giving it a 4, and IGN, the biggest one, the one that sets the Metacritic weight, giving it a 6 because the Mouse game had mouse jokes in it. That's not a review. That's a diary entry. And meanwhile, the actual signal, the thing you and I use now, it's Steam reviews. It's YouTube creators who actually play the game end to end. It's your boy on Twitch streaming it for 8 hours and going, yeah, this rocks, or yeah, this is ass. The people with the keys to the castle handed us the keys 15 years ago and then spent the next decade pretending they still own the castle. Here's the other piece that bugs me. A studio like Fumi Games does not get a second chance if this game flops. AAA publishers can eat a bad review cycle. They have marketing budgets that look like small country GDPs. They have franchise momentum. A Polish indie studio does not have that. When IGN slaps a 6 on the front page of Metacritic, that's the number scrolling past some guy in his lunch break who was maybe going to check it out, and now he's not. That's real money. That's real layoffs down the line. The industry is bleeding developers right now. Studios are closing left and right. And the thing that's supposed to help good games find their audience is instead out here writing essays about how mouse games having too much mouse stuff is a crime against art. Okay, so bringing it back, because I don't want this to turn into a TED Talk. You came here for opinions and disrespect, not a lecture. So what's my actual take on Mouse PI for Hire? I think it's genuinely incredible. The art style alone is worth the price of admission. The shooting feels good. The voice acting with Troy Baker doing his whole hard-boiled cigarette voice thing carries even the dialogue that doesn't quite land. Yeah, the detective mechanics are light. Yeah, sometimes the tone whiplash between cartoon slapstick and actual dark themes is a lot. That's fair criticism. That's stuff reasonable people can disagree on. That's a 7.5, an 8, maybe a soft 7 if you're feeling grumpy, a 6 because the mice ate cheese. That's not a review. That's a man committing violence against his own keyboard. The real score, the one that matters, is already in. Steam says overwhelmingly positive. Players are putting in 8-hour sessions and coming back for more. The game is doing numbers. Fumi Games is probably cracking champagne right now. The mouse wins. The mouse always wins. Look, if you've been sitting on this one, go buy it. Support weird, ambitious, hand-drawn, artisanal video games made by real humans who care about what they're doing. We do not get enough of these. Every time one of them pops off, it's a signal to the rest of the industry that yes, people will pay for a thing with a soul. And if you work at IGN, please, for the love of all that is holy, hire at least one person on the review team who has touched a boomer shooter since the year 2004. One. That's all I'm asking. You can keep the other guy. He can review the next Madden. He'll love it. No cheese in there. Probably. Smash that like button if you're tired of review score roulette. Hit subscribe if you're new around here. And drop in the comments the most unhinged review score you've ever seen a major outlet give a game. I know you've got one. I've got 10. Let's trade. I'll see you in the next one.